can be only one podcast, and may it be the Princess of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt.
I'm Bruce.
What's wrong with you?
High fever and dizziness and
Oh.
shakes at times, but this won't be our last podcast.
That's what you get for making out with our next host.
I'm Steven.
Yeah, and we don't believe.
Someone else.
We think the Russians started the coronavirus.
Are they the only ones that don't have it?
Are they not? They don't
I
have
have
it.
say that.
I have
Oh my
not
goodness.
heard of a
Oh my
single
goodness.
case in Russia.
Is it, or
Ukraine
is
has had a few.
this kind of like a North Korea thing where they have a case and then it goes down to zero and then they get another case and then it goes back down to zero?
Kind of like the original.
They kill it with a gun.
Yeah. They got the magic bullet for that cure. So anyway, yeah, I believe it's all a hoax.
Yeah, there's no such thing as coronavirus.
No, there's no such thing as the flu
But if you
either.
happen to run out of toilet paper naturally, bad time for you.
It is a bad time.
Yes, I was at Walmart earlier. Nothing on that entire
I
aisle.
was at work, and Rachel
Goodness gracious.
thankfully asked me to get some before I got there, because it was all gone before I got off my shift.
Oh my goodness. Toilet paper. Because if there's anything that I think about when I think about the coronavirus, it's massive amounts of diarrhea that I'm going to need to wipe my fanny on. Oh, I hope we all get coronavirus in 6 months. All right, so we're all under 50. We're going to live. It's going to be all right.
This is
All right.
off to a great start.
I'm telling you what. So, yeah. I'm just glad that people are now washing their hands.
Well, the thing is, we've got a good book review series right now, because everybody can just stay home, and this
Yeah.
will cover your time.
Yeah.
By the time you finish this series, coronavirus will have been a long gone memory.
Yeah, it'll be done.
That's true.
It'll be like the bird flu and the swine flu. Remember those? Yeah. Okay. So,
SARS.
yeah. So now we have coronavirus, Oh, well.
Just
Big
be a
deal.
nerd, stay home, and don't interact with people.
And listen to three guys talk about The Great Hunt, Wheel of Time, Book 2. Well. Here we are again. And you guys are speed readsters. You're already done sitting on G, waiting on O.
Yeah.
You're ready to go on to Book 3 already, but we had to hold up and do this one very quickly here. The Great Hunt, Stephen, on the last podcast, you put it perfectly, that this is like a smaller adventure before they start expanding out into the world. This is a tight little, I don't want to say bump in the road because it's significant, but at the same time, it's a tight group. This is the last time we're going to see really this limited amount of characters. He really starts expanding the characters after Book 2.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to go back to Loyal, the ogre here. This is where this is where I really got to get to love him and love his character. He gets a little bit more time here.
Yeah.
And in fact, I even said that what was it? I originally thought he had been in this book too, because I was reading them back to back, and I'd forgotten. But Book 2 is where he really gets to shine here. And you have Rand's history is revealed, the lore or whatnot.
Right.
And so you see all that. You have Moraine going to study to be an Aes Sedai. And so a lot of the training goes into that. They remind me of the Bene Gesserit of Dune. Did you get that feeling?
Yeah,
Have you read Dune before?
I have. It's been years.
I'm sure it was an inspiration.
It's time to reread it, but yeah.
Well, with the new movie coming in.
That's what they reminded me of a little bit here. And by the way, the Great Hunt is for the search for the Horn of Valir, which is supposed to
recalls the great heroes throughout
Right.
the ages to come back and fight.
So you have a magical army to fight the Dark One at the end of the great battle or whatever.
Yes.
And whoever owns the horn and blows what is it?
Whoever blows the horn
owns it.
Yes.
Right. And so now there's this great hunt. It's
They're
not just
linked to the horn until they die.
right. So there's this big, all-out search. Everyone's searching for the horn and everything. Meanwhile, Nynaeve is in love with her warder, in love with that warder, and she starts getting her own character here. I felt in Book 2. Book 1, she's got one mode, which is cranky old ratchety Nynaeve,
Yeah.
And now it seems like they're trying to give her some more background. Of course, she's going to be way fleshed out
The way
later on.
she is written, you kind of tend to want to think of her as an old lady that's
Yeah.
cranky, but she's not. She's young, and you have to you have to constantly readjust her age in your mind.
It is hard because in the first book I saw her as an old lady. I couldn't help it, and then this book I was like, oh yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
And you know she's not in the first book, but I just could not.
Mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but she keeps saying she's gonna box the boy's ears, and you do this, and she'll grab you by the ear and drag you half across town if she ever saw your face like that
Just
or
a
whatever.
look will
A look,
place.
yeah, one of her old looks will fill you in face, and so that feels like an old cratchy old lady, even though that's not how she's described. And then I think in book 2 now you're finally seeing, oh yeah, she's showing her age a little bit better.
One of the things that I'm trying to do as I go through the books again is give Nynaeve a second chance, because I just didn't like her throughout the entire
She's not
series.
very likable.
She's not.
She's a good character,
no.
but she's not likable.
But after listening to some other people's reviews on her character and just delving a little bit more into it, which you can't really do until the later books, I'm trying to give her
No spoilers.
No. I'm trying to give her an extra shot at winning me over. And there's one thing that I have seen this time through is one of the reasons I think that she's always just cranky and angry is that that's the only way that she can get it to touch the source.
Yes, they definitely touch on that.
So the only time that she can really get her, she calls it her medicines, her herbs and stuff to work, the way that she can actually heal people, is she has to be angry.
Cratchety, old,
They-
bitter.
They've hinted that she could be the most powerful,
Right.
but in her training, she only can access it when she's angry, and when they
She has
piss
what
her
they
off.
call a block.
Yeah.
Which is typical of what they call wilders.
Yeah.
It's like 1 in 4 actually survive without any training, and the ones that do, they generally develop a block, and her block is anger. She has to be angry. So I think that that's one of the reasons that she's written as always angry. It's become part of her character.
That's interesting.
Thank you for that diagnosis, Dr. Aishadai.
Really?
One of every 4
And the
Aishadai will have a Wilders. Excuse me. I was like, wow, that's interesting. It's almost like it was an infomercial for a minute. I thought you were Tom Selleck selling me something for a minute. All right.
And really, one thought I had going in listening to this, because I'm only reading the books after we record an episode, and then I'll listen to the next book.
Right.
Y'all talked about the Battle of the Sexes and how it builds through the series. And I was noticing this time, with the whole one power, it's split between the two sexes.
Right.
And is that part of it? Does that build?
No. Oh, well,
No,
I
actually,
don't
I think
remember.
that-
I don't think that does.
Because the thing is,
I
the powers are separate and different. And I was
Correct.
wondering if maybe that's why we're having this Battle of
No.
the Sexes.
No.
No.
You're talking about, and again, I don't think it's as heavy here as it starts to get in book 3.
Yeah.
I think book 3, I know I'm reading 4 right now, and it is heavy.
Yeah. And one of the things that kind of brings that out is you get a lot of chapters from Matt's point of view.
Right.
Who can't get a girl?
Yeah. Yeah. He's always complaining about how he is treated by women.
Right.
He's the jokester and everything like that. So I think that's kind of exacerbated with his POVs.
Right. Right. And again, that's something I want to talk about because that's in later books heavy, especially
Because
what
Matt
I'm
has
reading
trouble
right
getting
now.
a girl. Is that something you're familiar with?
Anyway, all right. So back to the Lord of the Rings connections. I found one more in this one. Rand's favorite story as a kid was the story of the 9 Rings. And me being a nerd, the 9 Rings of Men.
I'm
You
sure that
know.
was just
I'm sure that was one last
Easter egg.
ode
Yeah.
to Tolkien, but it was just
you got the hunters from the Horn that are the dead heroes, and you got
exactly.
What's the guys in?
yes, the Aragorn.
Yeah.
He's the one who can call
trade
the
minister
spirits
and all
of the undead, the
Yeah.
army, to serve him and everything because he has the sword instead of a horn. It's the same thing. Well, I mean, if you think about Boromir's horn, wherever it's blown, help will come.
Right.
That's actually, I never even thought about that, but you're right. Those are actual ties too.
Yeah.
And again, I have no problem with that.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I have no problem with
He
that.
openly admits that.
That's not ripping someone off. That's showing respect to a reader, kind of nodding your head through it. I don't pick up any more of those, or if they are any more, Lord of the Rings references or winks. I don't see those after book 2, or haven't yet. If there is one, I mean, you guys can maybe when you're listening to it, let me know. But anyway, Nynaeve is going through the trials. Back to Nynaeve, she's going through the trials. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. She has to take on different trials, going through a maze with a dark fiend chasing after her. She's totally naked. She is, basically vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting, and I would say this, again, this is my second time through this book. It's been years. Forgetting everything that's in the book, only remembering it as it reminds me, except for this. This was the one thing that I remembered from the book first time that I read it. It was because it was such a well done, good idea, interesting rite of passage that they have with it going through that system, that test to prove that this is what they really want.
Yeah,
Right.
and then they keep changing it up because the next one is the warder talking about how much he loves her. They have a family. They have kids. Everything she's ever wanted. And now here comes the opening. So now she knows she has to give. She's like, oh, come on. Just when she was kind of hoping
Given
this was given everything.
Yeah, some things it's like their worst fear. But then again, everything was their worst fear, but her worst fear was giving up the thing that she really wanted.
Yeah,
Right.
and I like that twist. It wasn't just always something like, oh, spiders, or I'm afraid of failing, or something like
Yeah,
that.
the first one was typical. It was
No, that was
a man
generic.
attacking her.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She's taking
then
on
they built
Agenor
it.
again or something.
And then
Yeah.
they built it up to just to her perfect imaginable life ever that could possibly exist in her imagination, and she had to give that up.
Right.
And I like that contrast.
Yeah.
And the things, and of course, by the end, she's pissed off because you went into my personal memories. Those were personal to me, and it hurt from a different perspective because Nynaeve is not an open book. She's a lot of things, but an open book she's not. And they basically, I like this again. I like the symbolism. They stripped her down physically naked, but her mind was opened up for everyone to see. Her thoughts. She's in love with the water. That's something that she does not want to mention to anyone. And now they obviously know that. They obviously put her in that situation, and she is angrier over that than not having clothes.
Yeah.
Because at the end, she doesn't even care anymore. Well,
I didn't get the impression that they knew what was going on.
But she comes out and she's angry with them. So I assume that they had known. Maybe not.
I don't think that.
I think she's just angry because it's forcing her to face.
I think
they
the trial just
they couldn't see into what trial she was doing.
No,
you're the doctor, so I don't know.
I mean,
so I thought that they could throw in these challenges into her mind, and I thought that they could tap into her mind and say, "Oh,
no, I think the Tur Ungryal that they make her go through is what does that.
Because they talk about,
okay. I was confused then. I thought they were watching her. In a way,
they talk about how they don't really understand. They don't know it.
Well, they said that she goes through her own trials.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Each
why is
woman
she so
okay?
But she's so mad at all of them for putting them through that last image, and she says that. But all right, maybe I need to re-listen to it. But I thought she meant that they knew how.
This is
private
she's
it was
mad at
for
them for whatever she wants to be mad at them about.
All right, that's fine.
Well,
that's fine. Like I said,
we'll have to come back to that later in the series. I think about one of the reasons that she hates Aes Sedai so much.
well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Meanwhile, you have Rand going after the horn. They've got another interesting character in Heron the Nose, who can sniff out different things, and
he's a cool character.
He is a cool character.
I like him.
Again, we have another unique character that's different. He has a special ability. He's a sniffer.
He's a sniffer. And it goes back to the old powers that's not related to the one power.
And I like that. Something a little bit different.
At this point,
he's not super powerful.
Maybe they'll explain it later in the series, but this is still a mystery. It kind of goes with Farron's power, and there's this old thing that's different.
Old things that are coming back.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing as the power? Is what the sniffer has?
No, he doesn't. It's not. They say.
Okay, I didn't think so. Yeah.
With Sidene.
Okay, later on they don't mention that connection. Okay.
No, they talk about it, but it's because they said that they tested him and they that he had problems with Aes Sedai because they came and were really hard on him, trying to find out if he was,
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's that one, and then of course he's going to capture the horn from Thane, and then later on lose it.
Yeah.
And also with the horn is also the dagger that Matt
Right.
needs to get better, because Matt at this point is getting really sick.
Mhm.
He needs that dagger because it was so much a part of him. It's a cursed dagger, but now he can't live without it,
Yeah.
and so he really needs it. So that he got the dagger, got the horn, and then eventually loses it back.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. I don't think it was a wasted story. I enjoyed the capture and then recapture. It's a little bit of tug of war going back and forth.
It was an easy capture, so it was not surprising that he lost it. It was
Right.
It was definitely.
He came in, swooped it out, and the guy screaming, "I'll get you, Randall Thor!" It's just singing out his hoodlums after him, for lack of a better word. But no, I enjoyed that, and then he has to apologize to Matt for losing the dagger. But Matt's like, you know what? Matt's pretty like, man, whatever my fate is, screw it.
Yeah.
At this point, he's like, you know what? That's okay. If I'm gonna die.
I never had it, so I didn't really lose it.
Yeah, I didn't really lose it. Yeah.
But man, it happened like right before they got there too.
Now,
Like 30, 45 minutes.
exactly. Now they go into this town where there's a bunch of is it nobles or houses or whatever?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
this is
the game of houses.
I had totally forgotten about the game of houses until I read.
Des Daemon.
Yes, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because he burns the first letter because he doesn't realize what he did by burning the first letter. Like you're refusing to play the game, but it just kind of ups the ante. You're like,
by refusing to play the game, you're obviously playing
and
the game.
so now it becomes a challenge. Yeah, now it becomes a challenge to get Randall Thor to respond. But since he burned one. Who is it with him that says now you got to burn? You either got to play the game or burn them all.
The sniffer is the one that kind of.
Okay, it's a sniffer. I think it was. I can't remember, but he's like, so Randall Thor's is burning envelopes, and they're becoming more and more, bigger from bigger nobles. Like, whoa, like you usually don't get this fast up in the game. This way, you got to play around with the low nobles before you get the high nobles. Now the high nobles are in it too. I love it that he doesn't want to play the game, but now everyone is obsessed with playing the game with him.
Which plays into his prophecy of who he's going to be and reveal himself at the end of the book.
Exactly.
Everything he does is to make him into the dragon.
It's true, and this is the start of that. He's got. I mean, he has to look like a master now. He doesn't want to, but it looks like everyone else is slaves. They have to get separate rooms. His lady, his lady. There's more about her. We'll talk about her later. But is she introduced in this book? Is that
she's
her
introduced, but she disappears.
Yeah, she disappeared. We don't see much of her. She's trying to tempt Randall Thor into grabbing the horn for his own.
Is she one of the three women, or they have that prophecy that something about there would be.
They're going to explain her later on. I think book 4, 3, 4. Can't remember if it's my book. I already know that they've explained her. They've revealed her. It's book 4. It's book 4. Now they know it's book 4.
She's definitely interesting, and I don't understand who she is at this point. She comes in, huge role, and just disappears.
Yeah.
You expect her to come back, but I guess
and she does. And you'll see way more of her, and I think it is book 4 now that I'm thinking about it. But we'll talk more about her later. But another cool thing that they do, they visit the Stead home of the Ogiers. Yeah. So again, Loyal's out there. His mother's around, trying to hook him up with he's afraid his mother's trying to hook him up with a. That's not happening yet.
That's not happening yet.
But they
in the
talk
Stead,
about
doesn't it? Because the girl
talk about it.
He sits there and wants to read a book because he wants to be.
He meets.
But his mom's not there. He mentions the marriage system, how and then he won't be able to go out with them anymore if he's married.
But he's scared while he's there.
Because that's how they do it. They don't marry somebody from their same setting. They travel to other ones, or his mother would travel, find it, and bring them. This is who.
That's what
first thought. He sees a pretty Ogier girl, and he's nervous, and then you find out it's not because she's pretty, it's because they set the rules of all this, and they can lock me down.
He's going to go talk to her mom, and her mom's going to go talk to his mom, and then it's just
and he's going to be in trouble.
And there's nothing he can do about it.
And they're all giggling and talking or looking at her or whatever, and he's just sitting there putting his nose deeper in the book. It's a funny scene, and I absolutely love it because Randall Thor's like, well, Loyal has to come with me. You know, like
Yeah.
I gotta take us, I gotta take us back, and everything. Because Loyal's like, hey, you don't understand, man, they're gonna keep me here. Oh man, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that they're trying to use the portal, trying to get
Yeah,
permission to use
the
what's it called?
Waygate.
The Waygate,
Yeah, that's right outside.
the Stargate. Again. But I did enjoy looking at that little. We get to see the land of the Ogiers, and it's said, even though it's not done yet, that they do have to visit a stead
Yes.
every once in a while, or they
Right, the longing.
the longing
Yeah.
reminded me of Star Trek, where Spock has to go back to Vulcan every once in a while for the burning or whatever it was.
It's an interesting idea.
To get out. No, I like it. No,
Something that it definitely doesn't come into play on maybe later in series, but I don't know.
Again, Loyal is getting fleshed out a little bit more, and I absolutely love his character. I mean, when they're running from Thane, he's going, I wanted it. I just wanted to be on a journey, not an adventure, man. It's like, is this going to be you every day?
Yeah.
And like, he can run really fast, so you go ahead. I'll
Yeah,
catch you.
because he didn't want to ride the horse because that would slow him down.
Right.
Yeah, that would just slow him
He
down.
would carry
just
the
took off.
Yeah.
And so, again, he's carrying the chest and just taking off like a rat. Man, I love Loyal. I think he's a fantastic character. I really, and it's weird because the first time I read it through, I remembered him, but I don't remember liking him as much as I do this time around. It's weird because I can't imagine how I'd forgotten so many fun things about him.
I remember liking him. I don't know that I necessarily like him more now than I did.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just don't remember that much of him. I mean, I remember him, but I don't remember that much of him. I was like, man, he's a fun character. He's an interesting character. I'd like to hear more about him.
Yeah.
They've already cast his part for the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anybody we know?
No. Except for Rosamund Pike.
Michael Myers is going to
everyone's
play
nobody.
Shrek.
Well, they do have some guy that was in Vikings, maybe.
Okay. Vikings is a good show.
Yeah. That's a show. He's a Polish guy. But besides,
They have some big guys on Vikings that maybe they could pull off.
Too bad Dolph Lundgren isn't young again.
didn't he just die?
No. Okay, well, maybe we'll have to see if coronavirus wins again. All right, so the other thing that I have, and the last thing that I had when I take my notes, is Nynaeve has been very bad, so she has to get the obedience shackle on.
Are you talking about Egwene?
Egwene,
Yeah.
excuse me, Egwene. Yeah.
The Damani?
Yeah. Say what?
The Damani?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
And so
interesting, and definitely it was interesting the way they used it. I mean,
Yeah.
in some ways they use it to push her character into her next level of power.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. It ends up being
Things like
being good for her.
you think about hurting them with a pot and pan. You can't touch the pot and pan now. It causes too much pain.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous kind of weapon in a way.
Uh-huh.
It has it, and it has her scared because am I going to be cowed like
Right.
all these other women?
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see
Well,
where
I mean, she sees another woman who is an Aes Sedai who went through all the. You
Right.
just saw what they did to Nynaeve just being accepted,
right.
and that's not even what they have to do to become a full Aes Sedai. And this woman did that, and they broke her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, it is.
And it's a powerful statement because Egwene's seeing this going, oh no, is that going to be me? Am I going to be like this? Because I do like that. It was the pot and pan was in this
it was
book,
a
right?
pitcher of water.
Oh, pitcher of water. But then she
Yeah, I
couldn't
don't know
pick up the
what you're
pitcher of
talking about.
water for the. That's in book 2.
I don't remember anything about.
Because she thought about it.
plans.
She had
Yeah, it's
one
not pot-
thought.
it's a pitcher-
well,
it's a
it's a
pitcher of
pitcher of water.
water.
He's right.
Wash the
Because she
pitcher.
thought she was pouring the water. That's right. She's
Uh-huh.
pouring the water, and the thought went through her head to smash that jug over her head, over that Aes Sedai's head. But now, ever since she did that, she couldn't touch the pot for like
3 days.
3 days or something because it caused her pain because she thought violent thoughts against
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Aes
As soon
Sedai.
as she thought of it as a weapon, then she couldn't touch it without becoming sick, nauseated.
Okay.
And she and that's sort of one of the examples that really hit home. It's like, oh no,
Yeah.
how is this going to end for me? So it's a very interesting. I like
the Damani were definitely interesting. They bring him in at the very beginning of the book with no context,
Right.
right.
and then they just ignore them for a while. And the next time you find them, they're catching her and capturing her, putting the collar around her neck,
Mhm.
and then you're like in that world for a while,
Right.
Right.
and really just feeling her torture. Because I mean, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
And we're getting, right now at this moment, we're getting a little half and half from the Aes Sedai training and then the Great Hunt going on.
Mhm.
I enjoyed the balance. I was interested in both.
Yeah.
Later on,
Yeah.
Aes Sedai are going to take over the storyline. However, this one, the Great Hunt, so far has been my favorite one.
This definitely was better than the first book.
It's
Yeah.
well, it takes a step up from
it
the
was
first
more
book.
exciting, more action.
Yes,
Yeah.
The
humor.
first book I
There's
like
some
a lot.
humor in there.
But
I
this
mean,
one
the
definitely
world
picked it
just
up.
expands in
Yeah.
this book too. I mean, you're going
Exactly.
you're going from one side of the continent to the other, basically. Talking about trying to get from Karian to Balmer would have taken them
Right.
2 months to travel on foot or on horseback. 2 months. That's a long
Yeah.
way. I mean, it wouldn't take you 2 months to get from one side of the United States to the other.
Exactly.
Maybe back in the day, but
But no, those were some of the notes that I had, the things that I wanted to talk about. Is there anything that you guys read that you guys enjoyed from the book? Any moments or any thoughts you had on the Great Hunt?
I mean, I enjoyed the final battle. I mean, it was
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
brought the book to a higher level than the first book. Somehow.
And see, again, I'm just going back to what you said in the last podcast. I thought that was very well put. Said the Great Hunt is this like mini adventure that they go on, that it's going to springboard from there, and then the world's going to just open up.
Yeah.
After that, but
It
I
only gets
like
bigger.
it only gets bigger. But I like the tightness of this story, the balance between the two, and I wasn't. I mean, eventually we know it's going to get so spread out, so super thin. It's really the story's about to slow down,
Yeah.
and and then I feel, and this is for a topic for later on. I feel the book kind of has an imbalance of balancing out certain characters after a while. We focus too long on certain other characters, and you're like, okay, come on. We've been on them for 3 very long chapters. I need a break. I
That's
need a
just one
break.
thing that I've noticed in this book especially is every time that the POV changes, you're always like, oh man,
I'm not ready for the change.
I'm not ready for the change.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden
He goes back and you're like,
Okay,
I'm not ready for that change.
yeah,
I'm
I'm okay with it.
Exactly, and that's how. And good books do this all the
Yeah.
time because you're not ready for the change. But then you suddenly get involved with this story. You're like, okay, I'm hooked.
Well, I mean,
Oh no, you're switching again.
Yeah,
like the thing is, this book has ended. I'm holding off starting the next book till after we do this recording because I don't want to confuse books as we talk about them. Being as I'm mostly the newbie for this series, and I've just been antsy. I'm ready to get into the next one. Really, this book ended. Rand's character's arc, it ended with him. Hey, Rand, you're the Dragon Reborn. What are you going to do?
mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to. And
Go to Disney World.
Yeah.
no, and then it's just like, and then it just ended with, and he gave him his answer. It's like, what was his answer? And now I know the next book's called The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
I know he's going to say no because that's his character. I'm assuming he's going to say no because that's his character. He doesn't want to do this at all, and so he's going to only rebel against it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is yet. I don't know where it's going. And even though I've read that book already, it's been so long, I don't remember. I'm sure as soon as they tell me in the book, I'm going to remember.
I envy you. I envy the. I mean, I always enjoy rereading things, especially if I've forgotten some of the details. But mostly it's just to kind of flesh it out a little bit more, to get the things that I've missed. But I envy not knowing what happens.
I'll be honest. Mine is like it's like a flashlight going down the path. I'll suddenly remember. Oh yeah, this was here. Oh, I remember that now. Like I don't remember that much ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when I hit upon, there's a little part where I'm like, yes, I remember this now. Aha, yes, it's coming back to me. Little things like that. From this book, visiting the steading, I remember that. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember the Thane and sneaking in there at the camp and grabbing the horn and the dagger. I said, yeah, I remember that now. Then I remember the Nose character, which I totally had forgotten about. Cool character. I was like, oh yeah.
See, I remembered him after getting to him. I was like, because if you would have asked me about that type of character, I would have told you it was not the books. But once I got to the character, yes, I remember now. It's so faint in my mind.
Yeah. It is for me, but probably a little bit more. I can remember a little bit more because there's certain moments and phrases and scenes that I recall. I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't gotten to once in book 3 that when it happened, it's just random. And I was like, I remember this scene. I remember this, and so just my memory pops in and out there when I'm reading these books. So I'm not. I am kind of clueless. I remember how it ends and everything, but I'm just saying from book to book, I don't remember some things. So I'm excited to see. Even book 4 has some stuff. I'm like, how could I forget some of this stuff? And that's the thing. You just forget some really good parts, some really good parts where they got character development and everything like that.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, you're talking about, 14 book series.
True.
It's easy to forget.
Yeah.
You get to the end and you're only going to remember the high points. You're going to remember,
Right.
the little battles and huge character moments
And
stuff
certain
like
scenes
that.
that stood out to you.
Right.
Certain epic
Yeah,
scenes.
things that were, definitely.
Right. And the thing is, though, with The Great Hunt, it's a tight little adventure that doesn't slow down, balances out perfectly the characters. Everything is interesting in it. And as the world breaks open, it's nice, but he does tend to go a little too long with the same characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, after chapter 3, I'm like, okay, I get it. Here they are. I'm ready to go back now. Please change the channel. Not that it's just like we've kind of overstayed your welcome a little bit, but the Great Hunt does not do that. And of course, right now I'm again rereading on book 4 still. But the thing is, though, I haven't seen something I've enjoyed more than The Great Hunt. That's not to say the books are bad. They're not bad. The books are great.
Yeah, hey,
I'm
Great
just saying
Hunt was fantastic. So even if everything is less than that, it's still pretty good.
No, yeah, and I'm enjoying the storyline. I'm not trying to say the other stories just suck because of that. But I'm just saying, I just enjoy the tightness and the small little world, the small little adventure, the small circle that they hold in. It really kept your attention and kept your interest going up the whole time. Whereas the other books they do that, but sometimes it's like, a little long in the tooth. Come on, keep changing.
I think his side characters are really what helped make that interesting. Like it progresses the story. It fleshes out the main character and their characteristics. Characters like Huron and Heron or whatever you want to call them. Characters like that and
I think it's Heron, right? Heron?
Heron.
I think it's Heron.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
Inktar.
We haven't even talked about Inktar.
Yeah,
No,
like a lot of the Shine-Iron guys. And
I mean, this is me going back to it. This second book introduced the character Swan, who was like one of the main characters I remembered.
Yeah.
And
really?
She hasn't done anything at this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I remember her so well? Why is she the character that kind of stood out? And I'm looking forward to that as I go further along because she's the name I remember more than Moraine. And so I'm curious, why was that? Because she was introduced in here. She did some stuff, nothing major, nothing that I'm like, hey, that's not why I remember her. And so I'm curious.
Yeah. No, that's
you'll
good.
get there.
No,
you will.
I know I will.
Yeah,
you
Because,
will.
I mean, there's a reason why I thought Moraine's character in the first book was Swan, because I assumed that she was. I kept thinking that was her because she was so big.
I
in the memory
remember
of the series.
being confused as we went through it, especially as the series kept going. I kept forgetting who was who from one book to another.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's a discussion for later books.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I've noticed I'm not it's only book 4. I'm not having that issue. I can't remember when I had that issue while reading the books. But there was a time I was going, I can't remember who this is.
Even by book 4.
There's a ton.
Now there's a few characters that I had trouble with. Elida, Leandrin, and Lyanna.
Oh gosh, I can't even.
Yeah.
Leandra and Lyanna, I can't recall the.
There is a problem with similar names in this book series. There is definitely a problem. There's some names that are very similar, and you can confuse them.
When you have how many POV characters?
147.
You have 147. You kind of run out of different names there.
Well,
you can't just call him Bob.
He could have done Bob. Bob would have been nice.
4,300 named characters. or
Yeah.
2400. It's
Yeah, it's insane.
astronomical.
That's insane. You
Yeah.
talk about world building. I mean, this guy just wanted to name everyone on the planet. Just about.
Yeah.
And it's wild that most of those characters contracted coronavirus too. They got
No, the
tested.
old one's dead.
It was the Ogres who spread it around. It was a hybrid Ogre virus. Yeah, we blame them.
They got it from the trees.
You got it from the tree. Oh man. But anyway, okay. So anything else to add, or is that it for Great Hunt? Final thoughts on Great Hunt, folks. To be honest, a great novel. The first one's a great one to
First
jump
one's
into,
great, second one's
and the
better.
second one just built on top of it and got you even better.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the series gets worse. The series it gets better as you go along. However, book 2 is solid.
Very
Solid.
solid.
Very good.
All right. Well, there you go. Hey, join us next time as we review book 3 right here on Princes of the Universe.
Everybody needs to be staying home, not going out, just sit at home, read books, don't contact with people.
Become an introvert.
I love this time.
Stop holding my hand.